I joined a small but prestigious group of people who have wrecked their crap at Trail Hero and then had to show it at the vendor show later that day. Like the Zapruder film, watching this video back and forth again and again. You're like, no, there was a road there before we started. Like there was a road there and it's not there now. I will never be able to fully express my level of thanks to all of the people involved in getting me home. And getting me back to good and to a sane place too.
Hey, this is Richard Trail Hero, and you're listening to the Trailhead Podcast.
Let it up, let it roar, I feel the ground shake. Pedal down, dust flying, no time to waste. The trail is calling, engine power on a roll. This is where trails start and stories unfold. On the starlit skies, where the wild things roam. Every trail a journey, every Jeep a home. Meet me at the trailhead, where the wild ones run. The dust kicks high and the day's not done. The road wide open, the journey in our soul. This is where trails start and our stories unfold.
Welcome back to the Trailhead, where you don't need a super built rig or a fat wallet to hang out. Just heart hustle and the lowest tire price you can manage. Welcome back, gentlemen. For us, this is our second hour. For those of you listening, you are just tuning into this particular episode, and we're just coming off Trail Hero, where we had eventful times. We had a number. We all did trails. We all did things that were outside of our comfort zone. I think maybe outside of our Jeep's comfort zone.
Outside of the trail, even maybe.
Outside of the trail and some. Well, to be fair, Nathan, let's be honest. There is no
trail's comfort
outside
zone.
of the trail, right? It is sand hollow, so you're not outside of the trail any place. But you can be off the main path, if you will. And we kind of trail less traveled last episode. The trail less traveled, if you will.
I think we're going to call it a one-man trail breaker.
Does this say never traveled, maybe?
Like, seriously, there was part of me that just wanted to power the hell out of it if I could have. If I could have just actually just gunned it and been good with it, I would have been fine. So, well, let's get into it, shall we? Because the whole last episode, we talked about what y'all did and the time that you had, because you guys had more fun than I did because you didn't break stuff.
You didn't break stuff, you bent it.
I think my insurance company is going to feel like I broke some stuff. I feel like
maybe
that's how they're gonna
the mirror.
Look at it. Yeah, the mirror is definitely broken. Yeah, that's
everything else
done.
is just moved,
reorganized,
repositioned, if you will.
No longer in factory location.
No longer in factory location. Ooh, I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Modified your Jeep a little bit more.
I mean. And it was like an on-the-fly modification, Nathan. I think that's the point too. Like it wasn't necessarily. It's like abstract art. Yeah, exactly. Like it was just kind of like we'll figure it out. Yeah. So if you were a person who, I should have pulled up a picture of this elsewhere because I wasn't thinking ahead of time, but I'll pull this up while we're talking here. But if you were a person who had stopped by the booth, the Trail Hero Expeditions booth, say on Thursday and say on Friday, you would have seen my Jeep there on the yellow, fully yellow, right? Right, Calvin? 100% yellow.
Yellow banana.
I mean, a little bit of black, accent. It's not the yellow banana. It's a 2-door. That doesn't exist. But definitely 2 doors. Definitely yellow all the way through. So that changed a little bit. It was still yellow all day on Saturday, but it was a different shape. Is that an accurate representation?
I mean, it's technically a shape. It was less aerodynamic. I mean, crunched is a shape.
No, the grill was more aerodynamic. It was leaned back more.
Yeah, it had more.
I had more of a. Yeah, that is true. I still do have more of an angle to it. Yeah. Well,
you tried to get rid of the cow situation on the air.
Well, he had a Ram Air. I mean, it was Ram Air right through the hood.
I mean, we could have
That's one
left
way
it
to
that
look
way.
at
Like
it.
this. Yeah, this would have been better that way. I mean, but I really feel like going over Vale Pass would have been a problem at 75 miles an hour with the
You
hood
wouldn't
like
have made
this.
it 60.
With the bungee cord.
No,
Yeah.
no, it
Mm-mm.
would have. Yeah, air dam.
No, I could have made it with a ratchet strap, but it wouldn't have been ideal, especially when I had to drop oil in it because apparently I still have an oil leak.
Did you buy a
which
mat
is a different
strap?
discussion. Huh?
Did you buy a mat strap?
A mat strap? No,
Okay.
I did not need to buy a mat strap. But yeah, to that end though, this, if you walked by the booth on Saturday, this is actually what it looked like. And many of you who got flyers from me that day are listening now because I told you this episode would exist. And here it is. That was my fun time out in the grand old state of Utah.
Yeah.
Look at that beauty.
What a beauty. So how do where do we go with this, guys? I feel like that we should start this with all day Friday. I was trying to get people to do a night run because I really wanted to do a night run to show off not show off all my lights, but use all the lights that I'd actually installed a year before in preparation for Trail Hero. And I did manage to get some people to go thanks to Keenan. Keenan also helped push on those buttons. And then Keenan, though, I will tell you this again because I know I said it over text, but I would not have actually gone up by myself. I know I was talking about it that night, but I would not have. I
know you were talking a big game, but it was all smoke and mirrors. I know
a little
that.
bit. I didn't. Yeah, I wanted to. I really wanted to do a night run.
Well, and that's why we lobbied for others to go with you. So when you make stupid decisions, there's people to record it.
Well, at least one way is I did
and
get
I'm
a
the
couple
one that did
pictures
all
of
the
your
recording
Jeep with all your lights on before that happened. I sent them to you.
I did.
Yeah. What those lights are
thank you very
amazing.
much.
What brand are those?
Those are Tyree, my friend. And honestly,
they're stronger than your bumper.
The bumper held up too. Well, I take everything but the tab for the bumper on the bumper, but honestly, it's a tab. Yeah, I can't really complain about that. Especially the fact. So the Tyree lights, I will say this about before we get into any of that stuff. All of my aftermarket stuff did pretty damn well. The Tyree lights all fired. They all took the hit just fine. And then, I mean, most of this was soft sand that I ran into a problem with. But, well, the whole problem was soft sand, if I'm being honest. But I didn't have any damage to that. I didn't have any damage to my Steer Smarts gear. All that stuff was in good standing. The only problem I had was it officially broke my sway bar control link, but that was already almost broken, and I was actually trying to get that fixed while I was out there that week. So it really didn't make much of a difference.
We should have brought the truck claws.
Again. So let me tell you a little story, and I'm really kind of glad Brian's not here right now,
dude.
Yeah.
The phone call the next day with me and Brian. Brian's like, "Do you think the truck claws would have helped?"
Yeah. Oh no, because he started with it that night. Yeah, go ahead, Keenan. If you're missing this, but Keenan's tired of hearing about truck claws, so he's gonna go dark every time he hears the word. So I texted Brian, our friend Beatrice JKU, about what was going on, and this bitch says to me, when I send him what is going on, he goes, "Oh damn, how bad? And could you have gotten out with a truck claw thing?" So let me take this first of many opportunities to tell Brian to go fuck himself. It was funny. I did actually laugh in the moment. I thought it was funny. But I also wanted to kill him.
He still wanted to know the next day. Do you think the truck claws would have got him out?
I mean,
it couldn't hurt.
I mean, honestly, maintained oil pressure to drive the thing.
Right. Yeah, that was a problem. I had to shut the engine off because the angle was pretty extreme. All right, Calvin, you can show you can change your background now. You can change. So, and then I will share this photo. All right, so this is the photo, folks. This is how the yellow JK ended up.
There's Nathan.
There's Nathan. He represents our vertically standing person. So yeah, what do you guys think that is? That's at least 45-degree angles on the side to side.
Yeah, and it doesn't even do it
man.
justice because that's a good side to side, but it's leaning forward quite a bit too.
Yeah. Oh, I am. Well, when we get to the video of Matt's guys trying to get into it, like there's a whole moment where Colin's just kind of standing over it, going like he was just, I don't know how to get in this thing, and I'm like, dude, like I have all the bruises to show you what it is to get in and out of it multiple times.
No, he was probably talking more about the monsters that flew everywhere and all of your
They were
gear
under the
that is
gas
now in
pedal.
the front. Yeah,
They were under the gas pedal at that point, and I actually did make a comment. I'm like, pay no attention to the monster cans. I swear they're all non-alcoholic. But yeah, it was not great. I essentially got swallowed by a sinkhole. And it just we have video, and we will show the video, and that's the location if anybody wants to go look at it. But I can show you where this is on the map here. So this is from Trails Offroad, and so we essentially got just past waypoint 10 here, and there's two ways. Guys, when Matt's guys came out, they took the Jeep out the Trails Offroad way. We had taken a left turn there, and it's not too much of a difference in terms of difficulty. That just happens to be the track.
I'd say it's a little bit different in difficulty.
What do you mean?
It is now.
It is now. Yeah, that's a different discussion. Yeah,
go back to the picture with the road.
Oh yeah.
Where there's no road. Can you go?
There's
back
no
to that?
road there now. Oh, this one? Yeah. Here we go.
But
You
if
could've
you
got
look,
around it.
it looks like Matt went through there with his wrecker that day. Look at the big old tire tracks.
I mean, we literally came down that morning.
I'm assuming there was a
We had
road there
20
when you went through.
Yeah, but you know what? That is the exact spot where our trail leader said, watch out on the right, there's nothing there. And then it obviously, after all the trails went through it, it finally just let loose.
Yeah. Well, you can see it. Everything essentially from where Nathan is standing, that's the edge of the sand that kind of gave way.
Oh, we could have got him out. That Jeep up on the top would have been able to pull him out.
Right behind where Nathan was is where we had one Jeep. Well, right behind him, we had one Jeep there. My Jeep was probably
right about
here,
right about
here.
We
had a JLU
a little bit
on
further forward.
Tons and 40s and the Gladiator, and it was pulling both of them to him.
Dude.
Yeah, and there's nothing behind Nathan. It goes to nothing again. So you'd almost you would have to dead man somebody down into the ditch to even get enough leverage.
And we didn't want to do that and risk ditching somebody else at 5 o'clock. And
it was 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning.
I mean,
plus,
you just had to pull them back up, but that's not.
So here's my thing about that, and here's a good time to switch my hat. At that point, then, when you've called the professionals, and the professionals are like, "We'll come out and get you recovered," then they'll come out and get you recovered, and you suck it up. You go back to your friend Nathan and Susan's place that has an extra bed, and you try to get 45 minutes of sleep while texting with people.
Texting everybody?
By texting everybody about what the hell just happened, because you didn't understand what the hell just happened. And so at that point then, it was just, I wanted to call the people that knew what they were doing.
I still love the live stream.
Oh, we're getting that right now. We're going to do that right now if you want. So the best part about all of this, for those of you who were not watching at the time, because there were 4 people who were watching at the time this happened.
I wish we knew who that was.
I know. I knew if I go back and listen to the audio, I think it called their names out. But I was essentially just kind of testing the Starlink in the back. Cell phone reception isn't awesome on that side of the mountains, so I was just kind of checking it out and see if I could live stream off of it without too much of an issue mobile. And I kind of set it on the dash and forget it. And this happens about 9 minutes into that. And I did pick it up because I knew that Keenan would appreciate it. And I wanted to give him the win because I wanted to give him the win. I wanted to give you the win, Keenan. So here you go. All right. I would like Keenan to know that as far as he's concerned, I have made no wrong turns tonight.
That's fair.
And under no circumstances should anyone tell him that I made a wrong turn.
Fair enough. Nobody will.
All right, so now I'm just looking to make a left turn here. That's the ditch where I ended up in.
Yeah, you can see the ditch.
Man.
But I'm just trying to make a left turn down these rocks. And y'all can kind of see the road there. Fran, I'll spot you on that.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. And about here is where something feels weird. And that was it. Shit. Yep. I actually thought there were more of those.
I wish we would have had video from behind you.
Just sideways. Oh, Fran was behind me. She wasn't recording, so. The fuck happened? It was a legitimate question. All right, so I slowed it down here. But this, essentially the ground just kind of fell out from underneath me. The total time for this is about 6 seconds from the time that I felt something weird. It was 2 seconds after that started, and then 4 seconds to the end when I officially just stopped in the sand.
And dropped an F-bomb.
And dropped an F-bomb. Oh, good Lord, yeah. Yeah, it was unfun.
So to your defense, that was the exact spot where we had there was a washout there from the rain the week before, and we had our people really cautiously cross that area. So all the trails that went that day probably caught that and shifted it, and you went kaputski.
Yeah, and it's one of those things in the moment. I'm like, what the hell did I miss? Did I miss something on the road? Did I miss something in the moment that I needed to steer out of? And then we all sat up there waiting for Pope and Randy to show up, like the Zapruder film, watching this video back and forth again and again. You're like, no, there was a road there before we started. Like there was a road there, and it's not there now.
And it was
still
even
on
easier
that.
To see the next day. You're literally on that track, and then all of a sudden the road is gone.
Yeah, it just yanks them to the
which
right.
is why I was going to go up. Yep.
It's nice to see those Tyree lights, though, lighting up the bush that you landed on.
That's now partially underground with this
lighting
Jeep.
Lighting up all of that red sand that ended up in the passenger window of my Jeep.
Yeah, but it was crazy because once it happened and we all got out, like you could clearly see, like Keenan mentioned, like how much rain had been washing out through that section of that trail.
They're literally going to have to take a backhoe back there and rebuild it. I don't know what's going to happen, but
here's the thing. So that if the spot is here, they can do one of two things, right? And I'm pretty sure that this is the location. Let's see here. If this is the location, which I'm pretty sure that it is. So looking at the Trails Offroad map on this little connection piece here, right? This alternative to this other
that
cut,
looks like it's exactly
they could theoretically
where we were
just
at.
cut this off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where we were at. And actually, I'm pretty sure that this right here where my crosshair is at in this corner here is
if
where
you compare it to.
So I tried pulling it up on Google Maps, the location.
No, I'm looking. I'm comparing it to my Onyx where I'm at, where I hit you. And looking like where your number 10 is way further back. If you got 2 arrows past, nope. You see that little arrow right next to the cutoff? That cutoff right there is the wash that I came up to get to you. So, you are right. Then. Yeah, right there.
Right in here. Okay. Makes me feel even better.
Yeah, you were still on the trail.
Okay.
Yeah, you were on the trail.
Yeah.
Because we did that one Friday. So yeah, I knew exactly where you were when you text me and said what happened, because we had saw the erosion all day long on that trail.
Yeah.
You just happened to be the unfortunate victim that your Jeep weighed enough to finally let Mother Nature tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I think you had the earth subsided underneath you regardless of where your tire went.
It was bad.
Yep.
Yeah, you would have been
I feel
really
better about
hugging
it
the
now.
left of the trail to avoid that, I think.
Yeah.
And there was no reason why you would have assumed that you needed to.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it. Yeah, it didn't feel like I needed to. Like, yeah, it dipped a little bit there, but it did not dip that badly.
Right.
And the only reason that I went, like, because you see me suddenly like gain a little bit of speed, and I think it's because I literally bounced up. Like I literally just everything dropped out below me, and then my suspension compressed and then pushed me forward.
Yeah. Well, that's why from where we were at in the side by side behind Fran, I thought you were rolling because I could see you kind of bounce, and I saw your ass end come up, and then everything kind of went to the right, and I lost you, and I was waiting to see your lights come back around. I was like, oh shit, he's rolling down a hill. Like, luckily you hit that channel and didn't roll because it could have
the channel grabbed you and locked you in.
Yeah, essentially, because it juts to the left right there where it stopped. Otherwise, I would have kept going down that mountain. So, I probably would have leveled off. But
you probably would have powered out of it. At least then we could have winched you up the other way.
I mean, seriously.
But the problem is, if you look at some of the pictures from the front end, that whole front,
it was buried. It was
25% of the passenger side is buried.
Even when I connected and winched him and pulled him back, we never got the front away from the edge.
Yeah. Did you hook anybody to the front driver tire to try to start pulling him away from it? You couldn't.
We didn't have enough Jeeps for that. No.
Nah,
but
not until Matt's was there.
Not until Matt's was there. Yeah. When Matt's got there, that made the difference in terms of. Yeah, because they could use the 3 winches to get it out of there.
Well, you got a hat, a T-shirt, and a story out of it. So,
Dude, I'm excited for the Matt's video.
You're okay.
Really
so that's yeah.
I am. It's these guys did some seriously good work.
We need a watch party.
We could do that. I just have to know when it's going to air. They have to tell
see,
me that
Calvin,
part, so.
He's doing it the same way I would have done it and pulled him away
so
from
where
the point
he's
of impact.
Connected.
So you probably
where he's setting and where he's connected is where I was. I just didn't have the front.
Correct.
You needed another winch in front of you pulling on the front end of JD's because you could have almost spun him completely around. You could have grabbed the front and pulled that farther around. I think you might have. Go back to your video a little bit.
Hang on, I'll go back there.
Okay, there. So see how that hill is pretty. It's pretty mellow. If you could have grabbed him on the front, down farther down the trail,
you still buried. You got to pull him back first.
Well, you have the one guy pulling back a little bit, and if we would have had Calvin set up on the front end, I think you could have got down that trail right where the trail starts to drop down. Calvin, if you would have been there, you may have been able to spin him out of it. Hindsight's always 20/20. You might have been able to get enough leverage with that drop in the road.
That and daylight would have made a huge difference.
But we couldn't turn the steering wheel either.
Daylight, yeah.
Daylight would have made a big difference too.
Because Matt's really only got 12,000-pound winches, so it's not like he has any more pulling power.
He has dead
weight.
He has dead weight, and
yeah,
correct.
That's what he's going with. So with 2 Jeeps and a dead man, you'd be the same weight as Matt. No, we'd still be half. He's 20-some thousand.
I'm guessing I'm somewhere.
So
around
he had enough
8,500 to 9.
8-9. So you're half of what Matt had in the wrecker, and he has an articulating boom to go up and down to help kind of lift you. Nathan's right. We would have had to get that front end turn. You'd almost have to pull back, put pressure on the back end, and then pressure on the front simultaneously.
Well, I mean,
right.
And a 2 or 4 to 1 mechanical advantage just to get the front end to spin. But if we could have got it to spin, I think we could have got him up. We would have had to do a spin lift,
I really wish we would have had video on watching how much my Jeep moved hooked up to him.
Yeah.
Because my front tire was almost hitting the fender.
But I got my shirt.
Oh, look at that! He's got his wardrobe.
I got my shirt. I got my shirt.
Yeah, and pulling from the other side, it drug Jem like a foot through the sand because you could see,
and I can see
drag marks in the sand.
And he's throwing another line on the front. So my original theory was probably correct that we would have had to put most of the pulling force on the front end. He's really using his back static winch just to keep you from going farther down into the
His back one's
wash.
picking him up off the
he's,
bank too, because that's what I was doing mainly.
Right.
Well,
so
a little bit, but that's his safety. He's got 2 lifts and a safety.
Right. Right now, what he's doing is the first thing that they're trying to do is get it completely off the wall, front and side, right? And to Calvin's point, they were able to get it off its side, but not off its front easily. So his first goal here is to pull it back and to try to get it off the wall so that he can start maneuvering it. Because Matt's one of the big things is trying to cause more damage.
That was
wow. That
was
really
honestly
shows the
one of my
angle
big
it in the
worries
light.
when we were moving it. Was damaging it.
Yes. And that was the other thing that I was looking at too. I was like, I feel like as much as I trusted all of you guys that were working on it that night, I'm like, look, if I got to wait a couple hours for Matt and his crew to show up to do this all the time on this mountain, and he has specialized gear for it.
No, me and Pope looked at it.
And at that point I was even willing to wait till midday.
Pope actually talked about it when I first started sliding and then he started sliding. We kind of looked at it and we're like, we could probably reposition, get better angles on it, but do we really want to damage the Jeep? And both of us came to the conclusion that no, we didn't want to hurt your Jeep because we knew you still had to drive all the way from Utah to Colorado. So that's why.
So
yeah, we probably called it a little bit quicker than we would have if you lived there.
All right, so let me ask you the question. If I would have actually answered my phone, and I'm going to own that because I missed 17 phone calls, voicemails, everything. And I brought our two Jeeps out there.
See,
so that would give us 4
there.
plus 1 more for a dead man up on the top. If you could have got that front end, if you guys could have got it off the bank and got the front end, I think with 4 Jeeps and then 1 as a dead man, I think we could have got it. But 100% correct. The your guys' methodology, this isn't a grip and rip situation when a guy's got to drive to Colorado. So you did it the right. Plus he was so high on Monster. I don't think he was thinking clearly on
high on Monster.
On any of this.
Not giving that IVs to us.
I already said that next year at Trail Hero, I'll turn my phone off vibrate when I go to bed.
Literally, always. It wasn't a situation where he had to get out of there immediately, so we had the benefit of, waiting for daylight and
and we secured everything before he left.
I mean, yeah.
Well, most everything. So you want to know, Calvin? The only thing that fell out. Remember how I kept trying to? I was looking for my drone. I couldn't find it. It's the only damn thing that fell out of the window.
It was under the Jeep.
And it was laying in the sand. Yep. And so yeah, I'm glad that
more
than
likely people came up on that.
And I can say this now, but
backed up.
I mean, I would have. Oh, I doubt it. I mean, seriously, so Matt's called me at like 8:30 looking for my keys. So I highly doubt anybody was up on East Rim at that point. I had also texted
the trails don't start till 10
to tell them. I texted Rich, Brandy, and Joey to tell them that there was this problem.
Yeah, so we were on the road by 9 a.m.
before trail started
to meet them.
Yeah.
So
by that point we were already on the way out.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock that we were rolling out of our meetup location. So nobody was on this trail on a trail ride by the time you were out.
And nobody's on East Rim ever. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of East Rim is like
every single day. There's a trail ride every day on East Rim.
There is now because a lot of us complained that there weren't enough of them. Yeah.
And West Rim, East Rim, Dino Tracks. We do Tokerville. I mean, they're doing every trail every day basically now because there's so many people that want to do trails. So, I mean, it looks like Calvin, you're right. He's squatting pretty good and struggling with 3.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's doing 3 straight pulls.
Oh, you had a little bit of smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, they tried to start it for a hot second and then they turned it back off because it got smoke in an engine. It got smoke in an oil light, which we read on the code today.
It burned all the oil off that you had left.
Mm-hmm. So, but it was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous morning for recovery, folks.
Yeah.
Like he is for better weather. If you look at those tires, he is pulled over hard.
Well, but those things are 15 psi all day long. He never airs it up.
Oh, yeah.
So
No, but he is significantly squatted now.
It's a 54-inch
was.
super swamper that's squatting pretty decent. Yeah. But see,
Yeah.
Calvin, now with the daylight, if you look at the hill just in front of Matt's rig with those rocks, I wouldn't have had a problem putting a dead man against that rock.
That was all
it looks
soft as
better.
shit. Seriously, we
Well, so
walked.
what?
No, seriously.
We walked on that, and it was bad.
Yeah. Well,
I think that would, and
I would have buried a Jeep. I would have buried one in there, just spun the tires, buried it down, had that rock as a backup.
You wouldn't have had
and
to
I think
spin it.
I would have told. Yeah, and I think I would have told you as the person trying to get rescued not to do that. Like, no, we're not. I'm not risking any more vehicles at that point. Because the Jeep wasn't in a bad place, right? The engine was still running when I was able to shut it off. Everything was still good. Like, it just everything that we could see was just mostly it seemed like body damage, which it was.
Yeah.
So I wasn't willing to risk anybody else's rig on any level especially because, you know, Keenan, like this was an area you had driven through that we thought was secure.
Yeah.
That we thought was good until it wasn't.
I mean, we were taking novice through it that day, Friday. So,
yeah.
I mean, we literally went on that
392s through there.
Yeah. Everybody went through there on Friday. Yeah. And we saw that there was erosion, but when we stayed to the left, but literally from your video evidence, this literally fell out more. It fell. No, it literally fell out from underneath him.
Yeah.
The weight of his vehicle
that tells me that was it.
Yeah. Yep. You'd just be happy there was one bounce and it stopped and it didn't go all the way down to the bottom of that valley, which we probably could have.
I was going to say we could have pulled him out of there.
Yeah, but it would have caused much more mechanical damage if he would have baha'd all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, and initially because I didn't realize
there's his pulls. So he's doing exactly what we would pull, Calvin, if you could have got farther down there and hooked that back end.
Well, see, I was hooked on that top,
more dead weight,
and Pope was connected to the bottom one, trying to pull the other direction, pull him up.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work that way, and that was I honestly was afraid that it was going to split my bumper like a chicken.
And you got Cole Built there recording
good old wishbone.
Dude, you had a steel bumper. We weren't breaking it.
No, I'm sure it would have been good. I totally didn't make sure I was out of the way of all your winch lines just in case.
So this literally just looking at how long Matt's going here, this was definitely not a hook and book. This will be a good video because this was challenging even for him.
It was over.
It took him 30 minutes.
Winch lines 3 times.
This is a 30-minute recovery. Yep.
Yeah. So this is going to be a good episode.
Oh, it's going to be.
And
I feel like. So I don't mind saying this. I feel like
all out.
Yeah, just a little bit edge where he got down at. He needed that step. I sent, obviously when you call late at night, you get usually, as Nathan and I discovered, you get an AI bot that I think gates you and verifies if you actually have a problem. And then if you.
Are you sure that wasn't iOS 26?
No, we're pretty sure. We both got
it was an AI bot because at one point I said, I said, JD, I'm talking to a damn AI. And he's like, and the AI is like, let's not worry about it right now. And let me see if I could help you. Like, literally calling me out for getting pissed at talking, like wanting a human.
Yeah. So Nathan found a different number and he called that one. He think he got the same AI bot, but this time he actually got a human being. And I think it may have been Colin that I talked to that night. I gave him some information and sent him some pictures and stuff. And initially he had told me that they were not going to be out until noon or 1 o'clock and I think it's because they had another run. And then I sent him some pictures. And they called me at 8:30. And I happen to know that Matt left the day after, or at least later this day, for that YouTube conference that was going on in Texas. So I'm wondering if he saw the pictures, he's like, I probably should go out there for this one.
And he brought Colt Builds It with him.
And he brought he brought all the heavy hitters with him on this one. So
I'm actually surprised they didn't bring 2 vehicles right away.
I was kind of surprised by that. He had a second one on standby if he needed it. But I think he just thought he could get it done with the wrecker. So I don't know if he's been out to this spot before. He didn't say anything about it.
I mean, we straight up called it the night before that it was going to take at least the wrecker to get you out.
Yeah. Well, and I texted that to Colin. I was just like, we're pretty much all in agreement that this is going to take at least the wrecker to get it out. So, and yeah, Keenan, he essentially just kept working to get it straightened out. He has it completely off the wall and he's just moving the sand. They were really worried they were going to pop the tire. And I'm like, I don't give a shit if you pop the tire. Like if you get it up there, like
there's another one
spare.
On the back. It's a Jeep.
I'll run 3.
I can find.
Yeah, I'll run 3 KO3s in a Goodyear. I'll do that. A Duratrack. I'm fine with it.
Well, we would have found you a spare tire.
Oh, you guys found me enough of that stuff. So, yeah. So he finally got me. So I'm no longer rolled. I'm just pitched for back, and it's just pulling me out at this point.
Yeah.
Do I have,
when we get you there, that's when like the rear tires actually start rolling, and they're not buried enough that he's dragging them anymore.
Yeah, if you look at the front of the Jeep, you can see all of Sand Mountain falling out of the bumper.
Well, not all of it, but 80% fell out.
You probably lost the other 20 on the way home. This shot kind of gives you an
idea, right? But this shot gives you kind of an idea of this hole that just like
opened up.
Like it's just
swallowed a 2-door.
Like
yeah, 4-door. We wouldn't even have went all the way down there. We would have stopped first, and you'd have picked it right out.
Dude, you're gonna have a great location of your Instagram on Matt's Offroad.
Thank you very much.
Look at that. Look. He's sticking the camera in for Colin. That's awesome.
Well, he's literally like, how does that feel, Colin? Because Colin is like this the whole way up, right? He's just holding himself, trying to keep himself like from falling into the steering wheel.
He was like sideways across the front of the Jeep for a while, holding his foot like on the passenger side when he was sideways in there at the beginning.
He was trying to avoid the monster.
Well, everything else had shifted forward too. Yeah. What
did they tow you all the way out, or did they drive it?
No, they were able to drive it. So they're gonna. Okay. I think this is the last pull up on top here.
He's gonna move the wrecker forward.
Yeah. At this point, he's like, I don't want to tow anymore. He's got me hooked like a freaking marlin in the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm essentially a big fish. And
a very small sand hollow.
You're brighter yellow than he is.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a true story, though.
His yellow is a little more orange than yours.
It's a little more orangey. Yeah.
Your tire's not even Robbie Layton.
Maybe we can get Robbie Layton to redo the Jeep for you.
Colin's got the multicolor. I mean, look, at this point, I'm open to suggestions about what I want to do with it. So
I think you should paint the whole front end blue.
We got to know the name.
Yeah, what's the name?
All right. So you guys all joked about the Moab edition, East Rim edition because of the hood and that we'll talk about the hood thing in a minute.
Look at all that sand.
Look at all that sand just rolling out of it. But I think the Jeep's new name is Sinkhole.
Sinkhole. Nice.
It works on both this particular event and
look at everything
also for the amount of
forward.
money.
Look at the sand just falling.
It's like it's like it's.
And these are the days of our lives.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Oh, that was beautiful, Keenan. That was awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I love Colin walking around this thing like, Jesus Christ, how did this thing get in there?
Yeah. I think he was also kind of surprised by the fact that it was in good a shape as it was, considering all things considered.
Yeah.
So, they pulled.
You're definitely going to have to do a YouTube short of the sand just falling out as an hourglass. We're going to need that. I'm making that request from your video.
You made an oil stain on
Matt's
freaking pants, dude.
Just checking his oil on my pants. Just checking my oil on his pants.
Did he even lower it down to check the oil?
Yeah, it's already on. It's already in the ground now.
Start it up. Let it smoke.
Look at that.
It doesn't even really smoke.
Look at that wiring.
Look at all that terrible wiring.
That JD, if you come to Utah, I will rewire that whole thing because you were giving me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Both of us. I'm.
Oh, he hasn't dropped me off yet.
No,
he did not drop me down yet.
So he checked the oil with it, all tilting to the front of the motor. There's Nathan.
Little problems. Yeah. Well, Nathan's busy recording with my phone, so thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, JD wanted as many shots, and Susan was down the hill of the Jeep while it was getting recovered.
Susan got the bottom, from the bottom of the hill, so I got from her angle too. Yeah, it was good. So yeah, guys, that was the recovery bit of things. That was fun. Let me tell you. A couple things I'm going to note. First things first is I talk a lot about being prepared when you go out by yourself, and always be prepared if you go out by yourself by any means. If something like that were to have happened, I had a couple different methods to reach out to people, assuming that I didn't hurt myself in some way, shape, or form, right? Which I did. I probably shouldn't show that for insurance purposes, but I got along even with a seatbelt. I still got a noggin. People may get on you about PRP seats and Corbo seats and harnesses and stuff like that when all you do is easy trails. Probably would have saved me a head injury on this one. Cause Lord knows I don't need any more head injuries.
Yeah, you have 2 brain cells and they're always fighting.
They are, and it's always a draw.
They got knocked together on that one.
Nobody ever wins. Yeah, no one ever wins ever.
Just heavily medicated.
Well, yeah, that happens too. But I want to share this piece with you and Keenan. Man, God, it pains me. It pains me a little bit, like when I have to say things like this to you. And
does this make it easier?
You know what? A little bit. What I will say is that, and I'm better now because I've had some sleep, so I'm not going to get as emotional as I did on the Instagram reel. But what was, I got back to the vendor show on Saturday. The guys recovered me. Nathan, Susan, and I went and grabbed some food, and I think I was at the vendor show by like 2:00ish. And at that moment, I joined a small but prestigious group of people who have wrecked their crap at Trail Hero and then had to show it at the vendor show later that day. So I pulled the Jeep in. Of course, people you get all the looks and stuff. For the record, I handed the most podcast flyers out that day. Essentially coming here. So if you're here because I handed you a flyer, thank you. I'm glad you're listening. And call us and leave a message at 719-408-0132 and tell me how you would have not failed like I did. But one of the really nice things about this was that, somebody, all right, Keenan, is like, I'm going to find you a hood. And I'm like, okay, dude, who the fuck are you going to find a hood from? Like, I know there's like all of the people here, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, whatever. And I think at some point during the middle of the, I don't know, a couple hours later, you're like, yeah, look at this. Like only 2 people who liked the post. Like I haven't gotten anything else about it. And I don't know if that was a redirect on purpose or if you just hadn't actually gotten any feedback at that point.
That was a
lie.
But
at that point, I'm sure it was. There it was.
We had the hood secured before when I said, oh man, only 2 people who even liked it. We already had the hood secure.
I knew it. In hindsight now, I knew it. Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay. And so Keenan plays this off like, yeah, well, we're not getting any likes on this, I guess. So at that point, I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? No big deal. I'm going to go be, the environmental pest that I'm going to be and hand out all of my koozies that I got left to all the other vendors that are out here. Make sure everybody, get them on the show. And so I start walking around. I spend a couple hours on my feet walking around, just kind of talking to people, whatever. And I come back and this is later in the evening, but this is essentially what was going on at my Jeep. And I have to tell you all, I had a hard time with it, mostly because I was tired, but also because the community that we belong to is fucking ridiculous. Okay. Keenan managed to find somebody with a hood, and then got everybody and their brother to help literally try to just replace this hood in the middle of the night. Not the middle of the night, but the middle of the evening. PRP lent a light.
Looks like my Devos is right there too.
See, everybody's got a little bit of everything
Sherpas.
in it.
We borrowed Sherpas.
Okay.
Sherpas? Okay.
I had one in the back of my truck too.
Well, we borrowed Sherpas because they were already set up until the battery died, and then when they both died, then we went to PRP.
Dude, yeah.
So
yeah, we went.
JD,
PRP
full disclosure, literally everybody in our booth knew we were doing this except you.
Yep.
They all knew the hood was on its way.
He texted me, hey, can you
it.
clear it on security to get it through the door?
So Todd literally got to drive in. He went and picked it up in Hurricane. We already had the hood latches. He covered them with his flannel. You were at the booth when he was asking for the free hood latches.
Huge shout out to Ryan at Combat Offroad. Thank you very much. They are both awesome looking and amazing that you guys just donated those. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Like I got nothing. Like these guys were just at it for, I mean, probably like an hour total just to get everything on and like get it fitted.
31
Really?
minutes.
Okay. 31 minutes. And keep in mind, at
NASCAR
one point
change.
you did say, yeah, do you care if I crowbar this? I'm like, I don't give a shit if you crowbar the shit out of it. I don't care. Like, get it on there. And by the way, Keenan, I did actually have to zip tie the grill. Halfway home, it was popping out, and but that was the only thing I had to do was zip tie the grill in place. And I have plenty of those clips to use. But I don't. Was it Andrew? I can't say his last name.
I don't know how to say Andrew's last name, but he's a local from Hurricane that had the Moab edition for us.
Andrew, I apologize.
Andrew actually was coming to the concert, and he was literally at the booth when you were there and didn't know we were talking to him about the hood that he was having his son set aside. So Todd
are you serious?
Go pick it up. Yeah, he was literally at your Jeep talking to me about it, and you didn't even know. Andrew and his wife came up to the booth, and then Todd went to get it. And because my vehicle, obviously all our vehicles were stuck. So Todd had a truck and he ran with his Dodge to go get the hood for us. And we kept it a surprise until the hood was physically in our possession. And I'm getting texts like, this hood looks great. Okay, we're good. And then as soon as he pulled up, then you knew the jig was up.
Yeah. I love this picture. I love these pictures. It feels like I have actually like killed something. This is me crying on camera. Nobody needs to see that. That was food the next day. But yeah, it was an emotional day for a whole host of reasons, but thank you guys very much. Thank you, Keenan. Like I can't, like I could have gotten home, right? Like I could have gotten home. I could have ratchet strapped that shit down. I could have made it,
not
but
safely. We didn't
safely.
Ratchet strap
pulled over.
You would have definitely gotten pulled over.
They would have wanted the scene of the accident.
Well, the issue would have been that they could have probably impounded his vehicle for defective equipment because the hood was not properly secured, and it's a safety risk.
Yep.
So we knew
other vehicles
at least, and that's the other problem I had is, okay, I can find you a hood, but how am I going to find latches? And that's when I went, wait, Ryan's here. And Todd's like, I'll go talk to him. And because we knew we could adjust the latches to tighten or loosen based on how bad the body was tweaked to at least know that you had a positive pin. So a rubber latch would not have worked. Even if I could get old hood latches, the rubber wouldn't have worked because then the hood would have done the floppy because it wasn't aligned properly. So we already knew we needed a way to positively latch a new hood. And Ryan was the only vendor I knew that had hood latches in the vendor area and that were adjustable, and we could turn the turnbuckle to bring them tighter. And so there was more planning behind the scenes than you ever knew to make sure that even if I get you a hood, I have no way to secure the new hood, and I don't want anything flying up while you're doing 60, 70 miles an hour on an interstate. So that was why the latches were kind of we actually had the latches before the hood arrived.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody went nuts to just get it done, because we knew we had the latches. I knew how to bolt them in. Everybody, I mean, these are Legos for adults. So
Yeah.
it was cool. Just everybody jumped in. I had literally talked to everybody, including Utah Overland Community. I had him come and shoot video of it and let him get some content. And so we literally had this completely planned while JD was out talking to vendors, trying to get him on his little podcast.
Like thank you very much on the little podcast that Keenan's on right now. By the way,
Keenan finally showed up.
Keenan finally shows up at the end. No, honestly, you were there from the start, and like
no, on the podcast.
On the podcast. Well, he's been here for a minute. He hasn't made the live yet because he didn't have
Friday
a moment.
Nights. And,
it is Friday nights. I do appreciate you taking the time out. Thank Jen, by the way. I couldn't and I have no problem. Like if you watch my Instagram video, you can see that I've obviously had a night. I did shed some tears. I had a rough time with this, only because you go through a situation like this, and yeah, I think all of us who have been in or seen other people in bad situations before, we pay it forward in some way, shape, or form, right? We help out by helping in whatever way we can, but we don't necessarily ever expect that to get paid back. And then something like this happens, and you're just like, where are all these people coming from? And it's all that karma that you paid forward, and all that karma that the community just is pays back. And I couldn't help myself. It was beautiful to watch, and I was so happy I was so happy to have all of you guys. So thank you very much, all of you, even you, Keenan.
You're welcome.
Even though you said his name and then wrecked.
I did, but to be fair to him, it really wasn't his fault that I wrecked. It was really...
Dude, it's like saying Bloody Mary 3 times.
I mean, there is... I could have just said Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. It would have been the same thing, but it wasn't quite, yeah. But it was good. It was really cool, though. I think, not everybody gets an opportunity to see that kind of stuff firsthand. And I think a lot of people that night walking by got to see firsthand the community just kind of rally. Oh, well, God, it was beautiful to watch.
That's why we put your hood in the middle of the road, so people had to come over. It was for marketing. Was it
that, or were you trying to get them to roll over it to flatten it out so I could get it home?
Keenan's all about the marketing.
Okay.
He is. JD was actually at Steer Smarts like, hey, you should come look at my Jeep. It survived.
100% I was, and 100% Andy did, and I talked to the guys about it. I did talk to, and Brian talked to the guys from Tyree, and I'll talk with them about it some more. But I was impressed with all the gear. I didn't care if it was even the Smittybilt bumper. I mean, the Smittybilt bumper, give them as much crap as you want to. The most that bent was a tab, because the light that was attached to it wasn't going to give.
Yeah,
because it was from Tyree.
Well, and your solar panel was technically working. We just wanted to disconnect it for safety because we weren't sure if it was shorting, but it was charging when we took it off.
I'm pretty sure it will work. And now that I've gotten it flattened out, I'm actually going to try to pull it off and see if I can get it moved.
I don't think so. I think you should just put it. It has to be part of the.
Leave it as that one and get a new one.
Yeah, get a new one. I wouldn't trust the silicone.
I've reached out to them already. Yeah, I've reached out to them already.
Yeah, it was still working. But I also. We just wanted to kill it because we didn't want it to short that rat's nest of shit that you call Jeep wiring.
Thank you very much. That is an accurate representation of how my wiring is.
If I had more time, Kyle, I had my cutters and crimpers and strippers.
Oh, I would have let you. I would have gladly let you. Yeah.
I figured getting you home with a hood that wasn't going to fly up in your face and smash your windshield was probably more of a crucial item.
It was. It was.
And
so
I think
I will
you
say,
should just do the fender deletes and just not worry about front fenders. I think we're okay.
I think I might do fender deletes all the way around. I wasn't sold on it before, but I drove all the way home with it. I kind of like it.
Quarter panel.
I do kind of like the blue hood. It needs a little bit of dent and scratch removal. I'm not doing a red door.
Okay,
but
purple.
I actually wouldn't be opposed to doing some sort of a better blue and yellow scheme all over in general, but I don't know. You know what? It's one of those.
I'll find you a black
I was talking
door.
about this with somebody else. I could do that too. It's one of those moments when you own a Jeep and you have an opportunity to kind of do a rebrand, a rebirth of it. Like my Jeep is 10 years old. It's got 158,000 miles on it. He's kind of well known as he is, and it's time for something new. So he gets a new name. He's probably going to get a new look. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this winter, and it's going to be real interesting. But for the time being, he's at least safe to drive around town.
Well, you're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come back to Hurricane to winter 4x4 jamboree in January. We're gonna do East Rim with snow.
Add more difficulty to the trail that already kicked his ass.
That's not the way to get me that's not the way to get me into it.
You try while the sun's up.
You should try Tokerville in the snow. The first time Jen drove Tokerville, we went up to the radio towers, and because it's shielded from the sun, the trail was great. We had a good time. And then this is her brand new Rubicon. She's just learning it, doing awesome. But we went up Tokerville, and it was all snow and rutted. And going up was fine because you had gravity kind of holding you back. We went to the towers. Coming down, I literally looked at her and went, death to left, safe to right. Like, if you have to, you're going to have to swerve into the bank. It was that bad. She literally slid down 400 or 500 feet. They were all sliding. And then the trail leader says, who was Casey from Casey's Offroad Recovery, he said, yeah, we probably shouldn't have went to the radio towers because it's pretty bad, but it was mud ruts that were frozen with snow on top of it. And so you were literally just bing, bing. And Jen was losing her mind, and anybody would have been scared. It wasn't her.
Yeah,
everybody was like,
out here.
holy shit.
Truck
It was
Truckless.
the truck claws wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, so when we do winter now, they're very cautious about going out because the radio towers are amazing. They look over the entire Hurricane Valley, Santalo. It's an awesome view if you can get there. But winter 4x4 jamboree, I think the shithole. I mean, the sinkhole needs to be debuted. We could come out and
I don't know if it'll be ready by then. It depends on how long insurance claims take to process. So we'll see how
I think
it goes.
I think you just take it to.
It's
It's drivable right now.
Yeah, so you can drive
it.
It
is drivable right now. Like, I'm not saying it won't make it. That's not what I said, Nathan. I just said whether or not it'll be ready for winter 4x4.
I think it's awesome that the Moab edition stickers are completely janky, crooked, and I think whatever you do with your sinkhole stickers, they need to follow that same janky, crooked. It looks
there's part of me that just wants to clear coat over the top of it to keep all the scratches and stuff from rusting out and just leave it as is. Like, part of me that just wants to leave it as is.
You do know that we almost waxed that hood. I had wax in my
You did a good enough job of it. Like, it was shiny coming on the way home. Like, it had a good reflection the whole way. Yeah.
Yeah, we literally wiped it down and dried it to clean it up to make the only part of the Jeep clean as the new hood.
I mean, it looked better than the rest of it anyway, at least the front end. At least the front end.
Sand.
And Calvin, I want to congratulate you on turning that bullshit around real fast in terms of pictures. Did Nathan send that to you?
Which one? This one?
No,
yeah.
I didn't.
So you just screenshotted that while we were doing this and then put that as your background.
No, Susan sent it to me. Yeah.
Susan is my Serbco. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
I got Susan sent me 5 or 6 pictures.
Here's the thing. I'm not the one that takes a picture from a guy that's in California and has a broken sway bar and automatically puts it on the show. So if you want to send me a picture and you say, don't share this, I'll keep it in confidence.
Hey, you never said
all I got from
share.
JD.
I was going to ask, did you say don't
messages.
Share it? Did you say don't share the picture? Okay.
No, but I had 17 messages when I woke up. Facebook, Instagram, phone calls, text messages, locations. And then I got one message from JD and it was my favorite and I'll never delete it. And it says, hey.
It's legit. That's all I sent to him.
Why?
Yep.
Hey, at 11:30 at night. Hey, that's all I got. Everybody else is losing their ever-living minds and sending me pin drops and locations. And
JD's just like,
JD,
it's like at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's up.
JD literally sends me a thing. Hey, really? That's it, huh? Hey, I don't know if Siri was like, took out all the mother F this and mother F that. And I think JD said, hey.
No. So the phone call started with, I'm literally looking at pizza. talking to the pizza people, and JD calls, and I go, oh, shit, I bet he's stuck. And then I answer, I'm like, hey, did you get stuck or something? And he's like, I'm going to start this. I don't want to hear a fucking thing from Keenan. And at that point, I was like, wait, is this serious?
Well,
Then he blasted me with a shitload of pictures, and I'm like, oh shit.
See, that's
yeah.
Well, you knew the address to the
I
house.
knew it was
Calvin.
coming. Yeah,
Calvin could have literally came and rang the doorbell if it was that big of a deal.
No, I was. Just
I
like,
wouldn't have cared. The dogs would have lost their mind, and that would have woke me up, and I would have been like, "What happened?"
It was funny. It was
because we would have brought two Jeeps out there. I would have had two more winches, 2 more Jeeps.
Your Jeep was stuck in the show.
I'm sponsored by JM Rigging Recovery Gear. I have a lot of that. Thanks, Jim.
And I want to say this real fast, Keenan. To that point, part of the reason why I think you got hay from me. I don't necessarily know that at that point my mental capacity was at full staff. I'm relatively certain that I had at least almost had one panic attack, and that's usually on par. And we don't talk about.
But where are we? I mean, is this like a bell curve of capacity? Because you usually start at like 5 to 7%. So I mean, where?
Oh yeah, no, definitely it's a bell curve. But at this point, though, we're in the negatives. Yeah, we're in the negatives. I'm getting out single words and grunts. I'm being honest.
Leads literally 17 missed calls, messages, Facebook, Instagram, everything, and then the one that stands out is, hey.
Again.
I mean, he could have said, "What's up?"
I could have been like, "What's up, fucker? Why aren't you answering your phone?" But I didn't because everybody said, because I couldn't get out the rest of the message before everybody else had said, "Hey, we already tried Keenan." No, just it's good stuff though.
In all fairness, Calvin, we could have gotten my Jeep and Jen's Jeep and other Jeeps, and I could have called Brassanini with his Hellcat and his Jeep, and we would have
Brassanini would have pulled it down over and through like 4 other washers.
He would have just kept dragging it. Where's he going? Oh, to the vendor show. It'll be
that's
there.
That's if he got there before he ran out of gas.
So in all fairness, you guys did everything you could safely and called in the expert, which was the right move.
We did.
And it's a good marketing tool to have Colt builds it and Matt pull out your vehicle.
I mean, seriously, like and here real quick, and that's beyond the marketing piece of things, beyond like the just, awesome that Matt. 2 million. If you are here from Matt's Offroad watching this video because you just watched my recovery on that, thank you so much for joining us. And that was not my intention to like get out that way, but you know what, like Keenan said, like at some point you just like, well, for as much as this sucks, I got, bent corner panels and a screwed up hood and I got new grill and all the rest of the stuff.
You got lemonade.
I got a shirt. I got a shirt and we got the show out in front of a bunch of people who would not have known us before. So
in my previous career as an emergency manager, when we brought Life Flight in, they would give the patient a t-shirt and we'd call that the $10,000 t-shirt.
The $10,000 t-shirt. That sounds about right. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have put this on. Maybe I should have kept this for my insurance agent and then sent that to them as my, here you go. This is what you guys get for all your money.
The lemonade on this side is it didn't cost you anything to pay thousands of dollars for a recovery because you have a guy that's a YouTuber that does it for YouTube.
And yeah, I'm sorry, I keep getting off track. Huge thanks to Matt's Offroad Recovery. Like we're joking here about shirts and now you guys helping out, but Matt's for all the things that Matt does, like most of his recoveries are free or low cost. You pay for gas or you only pay for whatever you can, depending on what level it is. And I can't thank you guys enough for coming out to help me out and for getting the Jeep out and for getting the Jeep out without additional damage. Like they kept pulling it up and I kept going, there's no way my steering is not going to be jacked up. No way. But they did a really good job of pulling it out. And when they did, there wasn't any additional damage. Like I literally got it checked over today. Everything was good to go. And I couldn't be, like I said, I couldn't be more thankful. I tried to stop by and say hi because they had to skedaddle to another recovery. I ended up getting a chance to meet Rhett and his mom, which was awesome, and got my shirt. But I also bought a hat. I got some stickers. I did get a wrecker sticker for the Jeep to put on the side so it can go on there.
Got to put a sage by.
I really, I should get that cricketed out on top of it. Yep. But I get overall, like between that, between you guys and the hood, and between Matt and his team helping to come recover, and Nathan and Susan being my ride bitches that got me to and from the trail, multiple times, as Nathan hinted to in the last episode. He did the beginning part of East Rim 4 times, twice out and twice back.
Nathan was the off-road taxi.
He really was, and it was prettier the second time. It was prettier in the morning, though, right, Nathan?
Oh, absolutely. We got to open up that side by side a little bit too through there.
We did, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked riding in it. I didn't get a chance to drive one this time. I did not get a chance to drive Steve's like I wanted to.
I think Steve was too busy driving Steve's.
Steve was too busy driving Steve's, and I got too busy doing my own thing. So it worked out. Next time, I'll go up and harass them. I'm just gonna go up and stay at their house, and we'll take it. They got a bunch of trails out there somewhere, I'm sure. Steve, that's right. I'm inviting myself to your house
in December, where the snow's 10 feet.
In December.
The best part is all their stuff's in Hurricane. He left it all there, so he's going to be down in Hurricane. You're going to show up knocking on his Ring doorbell.
Wait,
and he's going to be like,
"How did
what?
This bastard leave? What did he leave everything in Hurricane for?"
So he left the RV, the tow rig, and the side by side, and he drove the Jeep back home. And they're going to winter down in Hurricane, so don't go to his house in December. But you should.
No, that's okay. That means I know where to go. Yeah, winter 4x4. Apparently,
winter 4x4 is the place to be. It is a lot of fun, and that benefits 100% goes to Desert Roads and Trails Society, which does the bathrooms at Sand Hollow, and UPLA and Blue Ribbon Coalition. So it's 100% nonprofit. The trails are set up roughly the same. We trail guide for both, and great organization. And there's raffle tickets, so you can buy a couple $100 worth of raffle tickets and get tires and rims and winches. They probably have
fender delete
10, maybe $10,000 worth of prizes available.
I mean, you know what? I want this one for the title card of this episode. Okay. In fact, let me move the microphone out of the way. There we go. All right.
Wow.
He's gonna title it "Fuck My Friends."
I think
"Fuck My Friends."
Yeah. He's like, now that I've done thanked you all for helping.
I've got all the thank yous out of the way. Now you can all
spin the curve back down.
In all seriousness, at least we can joke about it. You're here to joke about
it. There are so many good things that came out of this, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want a situation where the trail falls out from underneath me, but I also am so thankful that there's a group out there that can come out and recover me, that there are people out there in the community that are like, you know what, JD needs a new hood so we can get home, 700-800 miles safely. Let's work on getting that together and then getting it on and installed and getting in. Like, I just can't. Like, there are so many things. And my story of this is documented, right? Because there's video of the in-cab situation. There's now video that's going to be of the recovery itself. There's our discussion of this. But this...
I've got video of us trying to winch you out.
I've got that video too. But what I'm saying about that, though, is that all of my story here is a version of a similar story that played out multiple times over the course of this week. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm not the only person that this happened to. I'm the only person this happened to on East Rim, but I'm not the only person that had a flop. I'm not the only person that had, an incident where they had a close encounter with the sand.
You're the only one that did it on a 3, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go back to the double birds, but here we are.
I mean, there was the Jeep that did it in the sand dunes.
There was the Jeep on the dunes. Correct. Thank you, Calvin. I appreciate
that was a 0. It's the dunes.
That was a 0, and that guy had a built Jeep, and he wrecked that shit.
But if you watch the video, he had 3 perfectly placed cameramen.
I'm not saying shit about shit. I'm just going to sit here and drink my tea.
JD had 3 perfectly placed cameramen too.
No, I did not.
For the
I only had
recovery.
one
Live on
perfectly placed
Instagram.
camera. Yeah, no, I had 3 perfectly placed cameras for the recovery because somebody I was texting that morning reminded me I should. Oh yeah. But
truck class.
But no, honestly though, that story repeated itself over and over again on the mountain. Like I've got it documented. We're talking about on this show here, but there are other people who had these similar kinds of problems who weren't the guys who flipped their shit on the dunes, who had, little breakdowns here and there that were able to get help by mats or were able to get dragged down off the mountain by somebody within Trail Hero that wanted to help them out.
Rory and all
get them
those
home.
guys.
Yeah, and not just the Mats guys too, just other off-roaders within the community who were on the mountain for the week, who were helping other folks, through mechanical needs or whatever else was going on, because everybody had problems. There's a lot of vehicles on the mountain for that week. So, yeah, I am so thankful for all of you guys. Keenan, again, as much as it pains me to say it, I am so thankful for you, man. I honestly. You really did. You really came through, man. I really do appreciate it.
Here's the thing. That's what we do. It doesn't matter. You can't drive home with a janky. Well, you could have, and you probably would have, and you would have been at the Walmarts buying a ratchet strap that may or may not have made it to out of Utah.
Oh, there would have been like 18 ratchet straps. I would have figured it out. Yeah. But this was a much better solution. Yeah.
This is definitely a better solution long term. And you know what? That's the whole point of this. It isn't a cult. It's a group of people that take Jeeps and Broncos, Toyotas and other vehicles out. And I hate to say it, the Jeep started in 1941 with the GIs, and they wanted to drive it when they got home because they thought how cool it was. And, the thing is that there's no vehicle in this world that does what ours do. And yes, there are other capable vehicles. I get it. I'm not saying Jeep's the best. I'm saying it has a following since 1941. There isn't anything like that. But what comes with it is the ability to say, I need basic tools that are in the back of my rig, and I can change a hood. I can change fenders. I can change a bumper. So the simplicity of the Jeep is why we were able to, if you had a Escalade, I'm not changing your hood. Nor am I able to call out.
Even if I had a Bronco, it would have been a much harder.
No, I would have just went to Turn Off Road and taken one off of theirs.
Well, okay, theft aside,
might as well go for exactly while you're at it.
So there was like 400 cars in the parking lot. We could have found a hood.
There was a lot. There was a lot of JKs in the parking lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm literally surprised the one didn't come off of mine.
Please don't steal any hoods.
No,
this is
we don't condone
your unofficial. We don't condone theft of any kind.
But the thing is, when you look at this, anybody can buy a Jeep, learn how to drive it, go wheel it. Guys, girls, it doesn't matter. The community is amazing, and they are Legos for adults. They're literally Legos.
Learn how to drive them. Learn how to use them.
Learn how to
trust them.
So the thing that bothers me and I don't care about if you're a mall crawler, you go to Trail Hero once a year and the rest of the time you're on the pavement, but be real. If you have your rig, take a class, learn how to use the winch, learn how to use recovery gear. And the worst case, if you're not comfortable doing that, pass the keys to somebody and say, here's my Jeep, use it as you need it. Don't break it. Don't roll it, whatever. And I think all in all, most of this community is, I'm not comfortable doing X, Y, or Z, but I'm comfortable with my friend Calvin or JD or Nathan to say, here, take my key, go get it, do your thing.
Right.
But, and that's why the Trailhead is this show can become an educational piece. Yeah, it's fun and it's humorous and you have that, but there's so many people that buy a 392 and they have one on tons with the most capable rig on coilovers. That they have more money than they have talent. And that scares me because the guy with a 2-door JK can do just as much as a 392 on tons with the right talent, training, and ability. And that's where I think the Trailhead podcast needs to focus on is, maybe a fun learning segment once a month or something like, how do you winch? what like this, yeah, we're all rag chewing and having fun about what happened to JD, but what really is coming out of it is with, the experience from that you couldn't do it and you knew when to call the ball and say, okay, we're going to screw stuff up. So let's not, and I'll give Calvin shit for not climbing up the mountain that the Tiffany drove right up, but he knew his limit and said, I'm not comfortable with this. And it's just like when she first got her Jeep, I passenger princessed with her and she kept saying, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable with this. And now she doesn't say that. Yeah. So get people out on the mountain.
Calvin he might go to the same trail in the same spot next year and not have a problem with it. But
probably because we're going to put a culvert in there. We're going to pay for a culvert, and it's going to be named the JD Culvert Memorial Culvert.
Well, I'm not talking about that spot. I'm talking about the spot he decided to back around up. But you see what I'm saying though, is that because it's the same thing with like, me being asked to do John's trail last year. I'm just like, I'm not comfortable yet there. I'm not at that place. I was more comfortable this year, and I did do it because I trusted the spotters I had with me. I trusted the people I had with me to get me through it. Honestly, I also trusted the fact that if they got to the point where like, you need to stop doing this, we're gonna throw a line and just pull you up, I would be like, okay, let's do that. But I trusted the people I was with to give me that information, right?
The most dangerous people on the mountain are the folks that full send and think, I have a 392, I have power. I drive a JK with a 3.8. It has no power. And I kept up with Calvin for the most part on everything I know I did because we made it through everything.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, but then there's the Utah's got an entire group called Wenches with Winches. And I could probably get them to come on the podcast.
Say that one more time, but make sure you enunciate. I don't want to get in trouble.
Wenches with Winches.
Okay.
And it's all female Jeepers in Utah. And they go out and they empower other girls, ladies to go Jeeping. And there's these groups that exist that, people say, oh, they're cult-like, but they're really not because they can go out.
They're all cults.
They're all a cult, but they're not. And, so we need to really look at that, the Jeep is just the vehicle, but the community is more important than just a vehicle. Yeah, we had to fix a vehicle to get you home, but it was about 10 guys that all knew about the story before you did. And we got to rally behind it and kind of surprise you. And that, and the goal was we're changing JD's hood. Are you in? And not a single guy that I talked to said no. Nobody told me no. Everybody said, when's it going to be here? Let's do this. And that's what this community is really about. There wasn't a single person in that tent that I talked to that I said, I have the tools. I need a 50 mil or a T50 because I can't find my T50. Somebody gave me a T50. I grabbed all my other tools and we literally, nobody said no. There was a no fault here no fail. We were going to put a hood on. It was going to be janky. It's going to be and I literally posted it. Any color is fine. I don't care. I was hoping it was going to be pink.
It just I would have taken pink.
It just
I would have been okay with that.
You would have taken anything because at the point of my call for help to all the Trail Hero guides and staff, I said, I need a hood. I don't care what color. It's got to be for a JK. I don't need anything but the hood. If you have one, please let me know. And I had hoods from Montana to Las Vegas that were on the hook that were offering hoods for your vehicle.
What other colors did you get though, Keenan?
I didn't get that far because I had one in Hurricane, which was a lot closer than Montana or Las Vegas.
I mean, Steve could have brought it back for you.
Well,
yeah, we didn't have that kind of time.
Well, but that, that's just part of this community. Like one post, I said, this is what I need. And then one vendor that knows what we were doing jumps up and says, here have $250 hood latches. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to come back for Combat Off-Road because somebody's going to say, I need new hood latches. Well, I remember what they did for JD. So, that's good marketing for everybody and steer smarts. When you went and talked to them and they looked your Jeep over and went, holy cow, it survived that. Oh my goodness. What a PSA. So we try to take care of the community, but then the vendors try to take care of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And vice versa. I think those of us who believe in the products that we've got, I think a lot of us are like, if there's a reason why I went over to talk to Andy about it. Like, look, you and I have been working together on all these parts. And like, this is one of the hardest tests that I put up against since I put him in less than a year and a half ago. And like it got hooked, and it, it survived the crash, it survived the hook, it survived everything, and it's good to go. And again, even getting it checked out today, everything looks good under there. My biggest issue is it needs an alignment.
Well, and the mountain's going to cause the alignment issue even on a normal trail. But
mine needs an alignment.
I need an alignment before I went out there.
Well,
yeah, exactly. I need an alignment.
I aligned mine before I left. And
well, that was dumb. That's really dumb.
No, it was out.
Can you do it in your garage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it also goes to the authenticity of this community. Yeah. You run Spear Smarts because Steer Smarts work. And there's a lot of us, like when we post on our Instagrams, are like Calvin and I, if it's a product we don't use, I tell the people, I don't want your China junk. I don't need this bag. I don't need this stupid junk. So there's part of this community that there's the Instagram influencers or Instagram overlanders that just whore themselves for product and don't really use it. And then there's the rest of us that are like, well, we want to align with the products that are what we use, and we've beat them and we battle tested them. And that's, so there's a whole side of that, some of these people just want to put stickers on their Jeep and call it good.
Well, you remember when I told you about the truck claw thing? I waited dude. No, I mean, I seriously contemplated doing it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you would have used the truck claws, you could have got a better dig and it wouldn't have dragged you.
Maybe there is that. But to your point though, Calvin, you approached that very much in a, hey, they sent this to me kind of a place.
Yes.
When you did your review of it too. So it wasn't, I think there's a lot of folks who are, to Keenan's point, they're fans of whatever gear they were given for free today. Right. And I think we know a lot of those people, and I'm not calling out names. I don't want to call out names. That's not what we're here to do. But I think there's a lot of people who you've seen in the past where whoever they're supporting happens to be whoever sent them free gear today. And that's not every influencer out there. That's not every person out there. But it does mean you need to make sure that you trust the people who you are following and taking recommendations from, right? If I get free gear from somebody, I do believe in it though. And I believe in it because of situations like this, right? I believe in it because I've used it now for X amount of time. I've had my Tyree lights on there for almost 4 years. I think I've had the Steer Smarts in there for 2 years now. It holds up. In this instance, it really proved to me all of those components, kept it together. Even the Smitty built, the shitty built bumper, right? Everybody loves to give the Smitty built stuff crap. It did a great job. It kept everything intact. The only thing that bent was a tab, and I can't really complain about that. It wasn't meant to take that kind of a hit.
Do you know that our friends at American Adventure Lab have a new modular bumper for the JK, JT, and JL that you may want to look at?
I would love to look at that, but I can't even get Britt to get on the show and record his episodes. So I'm looking at you, Britt. Calling you out.
But and that's part of this,
Keenan
this
to call
community.
Him out. They'll come in.
I'll text him for you.
He will.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know he will.
He'll come on.
He will. Yeah.
But you know what? That's the other part of that. With my channel, we only align with small businesses. We don't align with. I don't need a big brand to rep product for. I want to use the smaller companies and give them the leg up. So the authenticity is, you're right. Steer Smarts is a great company and their product works. The Tyree lights, everything works. And so I think we need to refocus the industry and the community to say, don't take the free China junk just because it's free China junk. Because I get 10 of those a month that, hey, do you want our free stuff? No, I don't need it. Thank you, though. I don't need your Chinesium bags
And I think some of that is happening, and that is a topic for that we could spend a whole show on that topic.
We should,
and we probably should.
We should start putting more content and less comedy.
Oh, there is that.
There's a voicemail I left about that about 2 months ago.
Well, yeah, and sometimes when JD needs an editor so he can do more content time and less comedy, then we'll get to that. But first, JD has to make some cash so that he can spend some time for an editor because he doesn't have enough time as it is.
We all know a guy that's
easier
retired
in the next 3 months. we do know a guy who's retired. He does like to edit shit too. It is a good point. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm hesitant to make him a regular though. I don't know if everybody. I don't know how people feel about that.
Dude, no, Keenan and Brian, that would be fun.
Oh, God of chaos, Calvin.
Yes.
Good Lord.
That would be like three guys from Illinois bitching about Illinois for an hour and a half. And then the voicemail will be a guy from Wisconsin going, you assholes, what are you doing?
It's going to be, it's going to be Brian Ritchie leaving us a message from Chicago. Yeah, exactly. That's how that's going to go. Oh,
he's jealous because he has 4
what?
years, 7 months, 30 some days before he can move to the West.
That's a true story. You know what just dawned on me though, Keenan? We need to have an episode with you, me, him, and Brian. I think that would be amazing. Like the four, but like I
got to be in there to stir the pot.
You probably you need to be there as a moderator. Like
so
I feel like we
if we're going to do that,
keel on that.
No, if Calvin's going to do that, he's got to go to Goodwill and get a Foot Locker shirt with the stripes.
He's like a referee.
I'll just wear my Trailhead security shirt.
There it is. See, there you go. That works. All right. Well, we should get out of here. We've spent enough time talking about this. Hell, we spent more time talking about this than Trail Hero as a whole. All right, so it's the end of the show, so let's go around the horn. Keenan, I'm going to come to you last. It's probably a bad idea. I'll come to you last. Nathan, got anything to add on this one? Again, I appreciate your ride and you trying to break an ATV both times.
No, I don't think I got anything else to add at this point. I'm excited for the upcoming episodes of Trail Hero Expeditions. See how that turns out.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we were all there to do. We weren't there to promote the podcast so much as we were to promote the show. So
yeah, we'll just be like we're all doing our own thing, kind of, as we're traveling and stuff. So there's so much that happened with everybody else involved that you didn't get to see. So from the interviews in the first episode to everything to come, kind of get a glimpse into what everybody else was kind of doing while we're all kind of busy on our own.
I'm so excited for all of your individual episodes to air, especially seeing how much time each of you kind of got on that first episode. Like, if there's going to be 6 episodes, you guys never going to get a chance to really tell your story. And you guys, what I will say is go watch the show, go watch the Trailhead Expeditions on Speed Sport 1. It's on Amazon and Pluto and all those that carry the network. But then when you're done, come to us and you can actually hear the stories about each of these teams, because we actually spent time with each of these teams to go through what drives them and what got them out there and what they did and some of the stuff that probably didn't make the roll cut. I'm a little surprised by some of the stuff that's already made the cut, but I'm sure there are things that didn't make the cut that we had a chance to talk about. And then when the show is done airing and all the shows have aired, I'll try to set up a maybe one big call. We could all kind of do a post-show wrap-up where we all kind of sit down as a group of all the teams that can get there as a Brady Bunch it, and kind of go over it. I think it'd be great to do. So, but it's good, and Trail Hero was good. Trail Hero Expeditions is going to be a lot of fun. Everybody got home safe from both. So I think it was a win. I think the last 4 or 5 months have been an overall win.
Yeah.
All right. Calvin, how about you, buddy? What else, any other shade you want to throw my direction, or are you good now?
No, dude. I mean, I only throw shade in all fun. In all reality, I'm glad that, you did have people with you. I'm glad that, I was awake and didn't have my phone on vibrate.
Oh, wow. He had to get that last dig in there, didn't he? Like Keenan got the double birds. Can we all just get the double birds, please? Everybody on the floor. Nathan? No, Nathan's too nice for. Oh, there he is. Yay!
No, like I said, in all reality, I'm glad we could come out and try and do what we could do. I'm glad you, quote unquote, let me talk you into getting the Starlink. You
did though. I mean, I was already there. I just needed that push over the edge.
I mean, it wasn't,
no pun intended.
Wasn't really much of a push. It was, hey, here's a free month.
By the way, I'm really glad that happened too, because it's back up to $290 or $375 or whatever it was for that one. I know the other one's down to $299, but still, it was still $175 for a dish. Is really you can't You can't beat that.
Exactly. And you got the dish that Keenan likes, the big one.
There you go. See? Keenan likes the big ones. All right.
But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to
right.
Trail Hero. I'm looking forward to, whatever adventure we decide to get together again. I mean, let's face it, you're in Colorado, Keenan's in Utah, Nathan's on the other side of the country.
He'll come out.
It was definitely cool getting to get to see you again.
It'll be good though. It'll be good. We just have to make something happen. Excuse me. We just have to make something happen before the next expeditions, because I have a feeling that all of us will be there in some capacity. Even Nathan, even if he just flies in to ride with somebody.
Cool. I'm planning on.
We're all going to be there for that. See, there it is. You can't once you're hooked on it now. That's the problem.
Season 1 rides again.
Season 1 rides again. All right, Keenan, what about you, buddy? What else you got for us before we get out of here?
This one's tough. Just remember.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I don't cry. Ever.
Pussy.
Vehicles can be replaced. Stuff is just stuff. And that's why I said to you when I first saw you, I'm glad you're okay. The stuff doesn't matter as much as the community, the friendship, and people. We would have got you back to Colorado even if the Jeep was totaled. Somebody would have figured something out. I do have a post on the Trail Heroes Guides and Staff to find Calvin a green screen. I'll see what I can dig up there.
You ass.
But and that's the thing. Hey, you're okay. It wasn't any irresponsibility, and that's what when I talked you off the ledge in the morning when you were high on Monster and didn't have any food. But that's the bigger takeaway from this is the vehicles don't matter. It's a thing. It's stuff. It's just stuff. You could lose all your stuff and start over again. And you know that it was more important to make sure our friends are all taken care of, everybody's okay and part of the community. And I think that's why people rallied like, hey, you're okay. So now how do we make the Jeep safe for you to make a 700-mile trip? And the beauty of it was you actually aired down this time and it didn't help. So
you ass. All right. You know what? I want to give you crap, but I really got to give you credit for bringing that. It's full 360. Well done, Keenan. My hat's off to you, sir. Well done. All right. Jesus Christ. I get no respect on this show at all. At all. It's okay. I love all of you. I to Keenan's point, I will say that my kind of closing thought on this is kind of what I've been saying this whole show. And that is, I am absolutely, while I know that it exists within the community, and I think a lot of people know that these kinds of things exist within the community, until you're on the receiving end, it doesn't, it's a little surreal. As something that might happen, like you have an accident and the community comes together to get you a hood and latches and then try to keep it from you so that you're surprised when you find out halfway through that it's done. Like all of those things, to the point of just a guy who's got so many YouTube followers that he doesn't have to charge for many or doesn't have to charge much for recoveries most of the time, because he's found a way to give back to the community while still making a living and taking care of himself and his family. So all of those things, I was blown away last year by the community that I saw at Trail Hero, because last year's Trail Hero was my first one. This year was the first time I feel like I was a straight up recipient of all of that love and all of that community that I think a lot of people talk about but don't necessarily see all the time. I'm eternally grateful to everybody from Calvin and Jennifer for coming out. I'm eternally grateful to Nathan and Susan for following along and making sure I was okay, and Susan for, as I asked her on the middle of the mountain that night, was I need a mom to look at my head and make sure I'm okay. To Matt and his family that came out and helped hook and hooked me like a marlin out of the ocean and got my Jeep up there without causing any additional damage. And just get me back to a good, like, I will never be able to fully express my level of thanks to all of the people involved in getting me home, and getting me back to good and to a sane place too. And we didn't talk about it enough. We'll talk about it another episode. But there's a whole mental health aspect to this stuff that you guys have no idea how much you played into. But it was good. It was really good. A bad situation made amazing by a community, and that's the story of Trail Hero. That's the story of the show. That's the story of what I want us to be bringing out there when we go out there on the trail. So I hope you're doing that out there on the trail. I hope that when you find somebody who's broken down, that you help them out, that you throw them a line, that you drive them off the trail, that you call somebody for help, that you help them change a tire, whatever it is. I guarantee you that someday you will be on the trail, or someday you will be at an event like this, and it's going to come back to you, and it's going to come back to you tenfold, and you're going to be just as taken aback by it as I am, and you're going to be just as enamored with the community as I am today, even more so than I was yesterday. So, and on that note, I think we should get out of here. So thank you so much for riding along with us on this particular episode. Thank you for letting us be a part of your off-road adventures. Safe travels on and off-road. As always, stay at the trail, and please stay on the trail. Even if it falls out from underneath you, try to stay on it. Do whatever you can. And we'll see you all next time at the Trailhead. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one.
Good night.
This is where trails start, and our stories unfold. And our stories unfold.